The Zambian government has launched a public interest lawsuit against the family of the late former Zambian President Edgar Lungu, seeking to stop his burial in South Africa. The case is expected to be heard at the High Court in Pretoria this morning. The Zambian government argues that no burial should take place until disputes surrounding the former leader's final resting place are resolved. Several of Edgar Lungu's family members, alongside the funeral service company holding his remains, are named in the lawsuit filed by Zambia's Attorney General, Mulilo Kabesha. He says the former president should be buried in Zambia with full military honours in line with Zambian law and traditions. To speak a little bit more about this story, we're joined by SABC News International Editor Sophie Mokoena. Sophie, perhaps just give us a little bit more on what's going on with this story, because it really is turning into a rather big issue, but one can imagine that's exactly what the Zambian government would like, is to have a former president buried at home.
It is a big issue because you know that today former President Edgar Lungu was supposed to be buried, and the family is still continuing with that process. However, there's now a court challenge at the High Court in Pretoria to stop the burial. The President of Zambia, through the Attorney General, has indicated that because Edgar Lungu is the former president of that country, he must be buried in that country, that is Zambia, according to the laws of that country when a sitting president or a former president has passed on. However, we know that in South Africa, the law is different in a sense that if somebody passed on in South Africa from another country, you ensure that you give the body to the relevant family members or next of kin, and at times you even go as far as doing DNA tests so that you give the body to the family. And therefore that's what everybody in South Africa, the hospital, the morgue, the Home Affairs that has issued death certificate and burial rights have done, giving the body to the right family. And therefore I think it's going to be a difficult one at the High Court in Pretoria, this case. On the other hand, we know that the family is saying they are going to continue with the funeral. So it will be the laws of South Africa and, of course, the laws of Zambia, because the Zambian government is saying that if the same happened, there's a test case in Zambia where the former president, Dr. KK, when he passed on, his family wanted him to be buried at his farm where his wife is buried. But the government of Zambia, under President Edgar Lungu at that time, took the family to court. And the court in Zambia ruled that KK be buried according to the laws of that country as a former head of state, and therefore he was buried at the assembly area. It is almost like your hero's acre. Yeah. And therefore it will be interesting to see what the family of Edgar Lungu is going to say as respondents, and also the Zambian authority adding more information, not just the test case as it relates to the former President KK Kaunda.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one. The case being heard today in the Pretoria High Court. Family members present? Are we seeing some of the family members there that will be a part of this?
The case will start later today at 8. We'll only know then who will be at court, because the funeral is supposed to start at 11 in Johannesburg. And therefore there will still be time perhaps for one or two to appear in court and follow the deliberations, while others are preparing to go to a service where the funeral service will get underway. But we have our colleague Kenny Mapanga is already in Pretoria at the High Court. She will bring us updates at 8:30. Criselda is at the area where the funeral is going to take place, and Criselda Lewis will then engage the family at the funeral.
Yeah, certainly is going to be an interesting one, Sophie. We'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. Court case at 8, funeral at 11. So this is something that is going to be a developing and a fast developing story at that. Sophie Mokoena, thanks for just giving it a bit of background to this big story that is going to happen today.